OK, all right. Before we get stuck into exactly what is happening, I'd quite like to ask you why this is happening. And despite the fact that this report that has come out into it, the latest report, appeared to indicate that a lack of child mixing during lockdown is one of the reasons for it, I have had a procession of doctors, usually, by the way, the same ones that told me things like, you know, coronavirus definitely came from a meat market in Wuhan and the vaccine was 100% effective against everything. They are lining up now to say that the lockdown had naff all to do with it. Are they right?
No, they're not right, Patrick. I've been saying to my patients for the last 3 months now, we've seen a lot of respiratory infections. And I've been saying, well, we didn't see any for 2 winters, 2 whole winters. We didn't see coughs and colds because people were stuck in their houses. And suddenly we've seen a huge number of these because people are out and about, but they're picking up bugs to which they've got no immunity. And I think Strep A is the latest in that list. So in my mind, and I've been saying this for some time before Strep A came along, the lockdown has decreased our levels of immunity to these infections. So in my mind, there's no doubt about that at all.
So are you concerned that this is just the start of something that actually, as we enter the flu and the cough and the cold season, everyone tends to get ill around the December time, and not just because they want to wangle a few extra days off over the Christmas period? Are we actually potentially going to be seeing higher outbreaks of illness amongst children as a result of lockdown? Is that coming to fruition now as we speak?
Possibly. Look, I don't want to add to the panic. Bear in mind, we've come out of a pandemic which to some extent was driven by panic from other sections of the mainstream media. So I don't want to add to that. We're not seeing a rise in COVID. There was a peak a couple of months ago. That's not come. We've not had a flu epidemic yet this winter, and some predicted that might come, but fortunately not. This is a very real epidemic. I've been working pretty much non-stop this weekend. Bear in mind, the news dropped heavily on Friday evening, just when the GPs all closed, because they're not contracted to be open Saturdays and Sundays. I worked extra hours on Saturday just to keep up with the demand. We're busy yesterday, we're busy today. Partly, I mean, we're seeing we were picking up positive strep swabs over a week ago before the news came out, and added to that a huge amount of anxiety from parents, which is understandable.
This is a concern.